Another thing I saw you were doing is, resting maybe a second at the top just to give yourself enough recovery time to squeeze the next rep in.
Exactly. Like rest pause.
Also notice how high up Wade's putting the pulley. It's pretty much all the way to the top.
There. And by doing that, those little breathing techniques, a little tiny rest at the end, that's how you can force out a couple more reps in the workout.
Yeah, without going to failure or anything.
Without going to failure, so you're not going to that failure program.
Which is really burns your nervous system out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to recover from that stuff. And like I said, I think there's a place for it with doing maybe strip sets in a foundation routine periodically, like once a month for an exercise or whatever. But you have to know when to stage things, when to go to failure, when not to. For the most part, once you've passed your foundation training, then you can start really working these advanced routines where you don't need failure. We go through volume, right? It's a much safer way to train. All the guys that's done that one set to failure and train like the Mensers, Darren Yates and all those guys, they've all blown their bodies out at the end of their careers much before because they're using so much weight that their muscles became too strong for their tendons, and they're ripping out the tendons, right? With this training, you can train forever. You don't get hurt.
And really, we're all about healthy, natural bodybuilding.
Exactly. It's building the body, not tearing it down. That's it. Well, that's how you extend a set in to really get the extra intensity into your workout. So let's get on to the next exercise sequence and keep the mass growing.
One of the questions that comes up is the style of performance when actually executing the exercise, and it differs very significantly from some of the other routines. So in this style, we are not training to failure at any point in time, and we're moving at a fairly rapid pace, which is different than some of the exercise selections that we've done in other courses.
Alright, so now we're on to the final aspect, we're training forearms. One of the other things that I felt contributed to my arm growth is that I had stopped training forearms for years, and a lot of the weak point is happening here in the movement. So when I started training forearms again, I started noticing my arms start getting bigger, and I do believe it has to do with how much activity is happening at the start of a curl. But anyways, on to the most important part here. We're going to finish this exercise with a set of wrist curls and reverse wrist curls. Now you can do this with barbells, you can do this with dumbbells, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a sequence that curls with the barbell, and then with the... Now a lot of people like to go off their knees, but I'm going to borrow on a Larry Scott trick, and Larry discovered who had tremendous arm development and even better forearm development, is he liked to get right in here, close in and lock his arms so he couldn't move. That way there was no movement there, and then curl up like this. And I really like this movement. I really get a burn.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And it takes the biceps out of it because I'm bent at 90 degrees or more. Get the stretch. Back down. And then, now with the forearms, okay, you can do the same thing. Now I find that's a little harder to do, so I curl these on the forearms like this.
It's worth noting that baby weights for these exercises, especially this one,
Yeah, so
is all you need.
this one, as you can see, that's actually a little bit too heavy for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right over, drop those weights immediately. Okay, keep your ego out of it. Go to the next lightest weights. Okay, and these are only 8-counters. I don't care. My biceps, my forearms don't know the difference, right?
And the reverse ones work this little small muscle in
Exactly.
here, and in here. So these guys are weak. You know.
All right. And then just give a little shake, right? You feel the tightness in here. You want to massage it out a little bit, and then right back into them. Once again, little rest.
You know, I think you're right about the bicep development being affected by forearm stuff, because I experimented also with dropping my wrist while I'm doing a curl so that my forearm is not involved, and I felt my bicep more. But this strategy, you're strengthening the forearm,
Absolutely.
so that you can lift more weights with the biceps.
Absolutely. And another format I can show you how you can do these is you can get in a kneeling position, right? Right down here, and again, right up like that. Okay? Oh, and then you really will feel that more right in this part.
I think extending your arms out like that gives you a better contraction.
So it's another way you can get it, and I really like this one, especially with the dumbbells. Because each forearm has to work the same amount, and it's also a balancing factor with the barbell. Okay, you got a stability here, right? So you're just like this, but with this way, the dumbbells are going like this all the time, so your forearm is unbalanced, and you get a better development with the disbalance. Okay, we got one more round to finish these off. Right back into it. Oh, and I'm really feeling it now. I mean, this is where you gotta get mentally tough. Alright. Woo! Those things are on fire.
Especially after all the volume you just did.
Yeah, after training them after the arms, don't train your forearms before the biceps. So just all that gripping and training, as we're getting down here, you're really feeling it, getting the maximum pump in those muscles. Flex, flex. It's one thing about Freaky Master, it's going to bring you to your knees, one way or the other. Woo! All right. Well, that ends it for this workout. We're just going to follow up, go to the change room, review our training journal.
And here he is.
Here we go. So once again, I'm just reviewing the workout. And normally what I do is I follow through. After each set, I'll write down what I did right there. And then if I make a note, for example, on the tricep extension, I might write a little arrow, and I'll put felt better with cambered bar, right? And so just to make a little note, or it might be a sequence, or it's an exercise thing that I found, or maybe my elbows hurt on an exercise or something like that. I'm gonna make those little notes about what physically is happening. So once we do that, then I'm gonna make a little great workout. You know, I had a good one today. Write that in. Don't worry about my pen scratching or my hand scratching. It's a little messy. And same sequence as always. Make sure I get rehydrated after the workout. Another pack of Masslings. Then I'm gonna go home, have a big meal. Right? These things don't leave home without it. If you see some of the testimonials, what happens when people start pounding 50 to 100 of these a day. I mean, it's amazing the energy levels, how much growth you get. And you don't need that much protein then. 50, 60 grams of live protein with the enzymes.